Hi there, let's talk about working smarter with Salesforce automation. We are in the setup of sales. Let's see what are the automation tools we have. So we have few tools under process automation, but the main out of box that we use would be process builder, approval process, and flow. But how do we decide which tools to use? Okay, let me give you a few tips over here. Process builder over here, it is built on simple routines like create or update records, send email and post on a chat or a community, etc. Flow, it's similar to process builder but much more complexity is involved. So let's keep this in the back pocket and use it when process builder cannot get our job done. Now let's say about the approval process. Approval process is when you need few people to view over your record and make decision on it and keep a good electronic record of that conversation. Now let's first begin with process builder. So here are a few set of my process builder that I have created. So process builder has its own versions, so that you can have your own versions as you create or update in the existing one. Let me show you what I have done in this process builder. So the flexibility design allows us to track and maintain process over time. So when business grows and changes, we can grow along with it, and instead of building a new one from scratch, we can modify and update from the existing process builder. So what I've done over here is, my requirement was to get an email notification whenever the stage of a case object gets updated or changed. So what I have selected is, I have selected the case object and said when a record is created or edited. Then I go to criteria. So the criteria could be if the conditions are met, if the formula evaluates to true, or no criteria, just evaluate the action. So over here I have set conditions if the conditions are met, and I have set if the field called status in the object of case, when this is changed and I have used the boolean operation to true, then get me this action done. So over here the conditions, it can, since we have selected boolean, it can be and or we can customize the logic including and or. Then over here the action would be get an email alert. Now to show you if this is working or not, we would go into the case object, create a new case, the status is new because it's just being created, and then I click save. Now when I edit this, I would be getting an email, which I cannot show it to you over here. Okay, I'm just showing you the email that I received. The template of this email can be selected, can be customized, including the subject. Now let's see flow. So see, flow can reach very far. It's just a drag and drop interface. It can update or create multiple records at a time, and it can also get auto launched through a process builder. So here my requirement was to update the subject of my case. So what I did was, I started the case using the object case, and I'll show you. So whenever a record is created or updated, I have set the trigger and run the flow after the record is saved on the case object. So now my requirement here is, I need the subject of the case to get auto populated with the account name and type of the case. So what I have done over here is I have created a variable with the data type of text, and I have got a record from the account object. So I have matched the account ID of the account object with the sales object account ID, and then I have put the account name field in the case object with the variable value. So once I have received the account name, I would be creating another variable for type. This could be the type directly taken from the case object. I'm setting the default value as the same. So once I have taken both, I'd be using the formula. We'll be creating new resources from manager. I can select if I want a variable, constant, formula, text template, stage. So I created a formula that concatenates account name, the variable that I created, with the variable type, the variable that I created. So once this is also done, I would like to update the record. I would like to update the subject field of the case object. So I would be setting the criteria, and I'll be meeting the case ID with the case ID, and update the field subject of the case with the variable that I just created that has the concatenate values, and then click save and run. And now let's see how it works. I'm just giving in these details for demonstration purpose. You can fill in the other details as well, depending on the requirement and your complaints. So see the subject. It says the account name hyphen the type. It has got auto populated. Now let's see approval processes. Here what I have done is let me show you this with Sales Cloud. My requirement was whenever the discount of an opportunity goes beyond 5%, it needs an approver. For demonstration purpose, I have kept myself as the submitter as well as the approver. Now let's see what I have done. So this approval process has been divided into 4 stages. The initial is when you submit a record for approval. So it logs your record so that you don't edit any of the fields in that record. Then the first step what I have done over here is whenever the total discount is not equal to 0, it goes to the next step, because if it's 0 then it does not require any approval. So then again when it goes to the next step, it logs the record, and then if this step gets approved, then the field over here, the status field over here, goes to approved or not approved. Then there's a final rejection process. So once the approver rejects the record, it goes to the status gets updated to reject, not approved from here. And then it also unlocks the record for editing. And then there's one more case where you can recall the actions. So once the submitter is not sure about the record, he or she can recall it whenever before the approver takes an action on it. So now let's see. I'm submitting this record for approval. The total discount is 0. Let's see what happens. You can give any complaints. This will be shown for the approver. It says no applicable approval process was found because we have put a condition as 5%. Now let me edit the products discount 20%. It's updated. Yeah, since I'm the approver, I have got the notification. So now I can either approve, reject, or reassign it to someone else. So approval process is a necessary steps for a record to be approved or who approves it. So the actions to be taken based on these steps if it has got approved or if it has got rejected. Now you might want to know what is workflow rules. So workflow rules has been around for a long time, even before process builders or flow was even built. Change is inevitable. So I recommend older organization to migrate from workflow rules to process builder. Now since you know about the automations available in Salesforce, you can pick any area that is right for automation in your organization and map it.